pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adoption of the agenda. It is recommended that the agenda of this December 20, 2019 special meeting of the Board of School Trustees be approved as presented. I have a motion to approve this agenda. Derek makes that motion. One of you stole my ink pen. Never mind, I'll find another. Got it. Do I have a second to that motion? George? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Only one item today under new business of the board, and that is this new contract we're going to enter into. And the first thing that I have to do is I have to read the contract, not the regular. The contract has got two parts. One is the regular teacher contract. The other is a 16-item addendum that is the superintendent side of the contract. The regular teacher side of the contract does not change. So I will read, and most of these items, or at least the items that changed, were advertised, but I will read the whole addendum to this contract. And I hope that you can hear me. The regular teacher's contract entered into between Richard Rutherford, hereinafter referred to as Rutherford, and the Board of School Trustees, herein referred to as the Board, of the South Spencer School Corporation, dated December 20, 2019, is hereby supplemented by the following addendum, the terms of which are incorporate into the regular teacher's contract and the consideration for which is stated in the regular teacher's contract. Like I said, there are 16 items. Item 1, effective date. The effective date of this contract shall be July 1, 2019. 2, term of agreement. The term of this agreement shall begin on July 1st, 2019 and shall terminate on June 30, 2022. Rutherford understands and agrees that the board shall not be required to provide the statutory renewal notices required by Indiana Code prior to June 30, 2022, and that this agreement shall expire by its own terms on June 30, 2022. Item 3, position. Rutherford is hereby employed as superintendent of the schools of South Spencer School Corporation. 4, days of service. Rutherford shall provide services as superintendent on 260 days during each school year. The 260 workdays shall include vacation days pursuant to paragraph 7 of this addendum and sick days pursuant to paragraph 8 of this addendum. Salary. The salary of Rutherford for the contract year 2019-2020 shall be $110,000. The salary for each year thereafter shall increase at the same amount approved for the teachers by the professional contract, subject to paragraph 6 below. Number 6, annual evaluation. The board shall provide an annual performance evaluation to Rutherford to be completed no later than December 1st of each year. The superintendent shall receive any raise or increment for the following year only if he receives a performance rating of effective or highly effective for that contract year. 7, vacation. Rutherford shall be entitled to 4 weeks of paid vacation each year plus the following 6 holidays: New Year's Day, Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. The vacation days shall accumulate and carry over each year if not used. Item 8, sick and personal days. Rutherford shall be entitled to 10 sick leave days per contract year to accumulate if unused, with a limit of 180 days total. In addition, Rutherford shall receive 5 personal leave days per year. Any unused personal leave shall be added to the accumulated sick leave. Health insurance. South Spencer School Corporation shall pay all but $1 toward the premium for health insurance plans selected by Rutherford. Item 10, term life insurance. Rutherford shall be entitled to a term life insurance policy on his life in the amount of $100,000 with the premium paid by the corporation. Item 11, superintendent's liability protection. The corporation agrees to provide the superintendent with legal counsel selected and paid for by the Board of School Trustees, and defend and indemnify and hold the superintendent harmless for all claims, demands, and judgments arising out of performance of duties within the superintendent's scope of employment, except for claims, demands, and judgments arising out of superintendent's intentional acts. Item 12, use of corporation-owned vehicle. Rutherford shall be entitled to use a vehicle owned by South Spencer County School Corporation when said vehicle is available and at no expense. However, such use shall be limited to school business and shall not be for personal use. In the event that such a vehicle is not available, he shall receive payment at the current mileage rate awarded by the school corporation for use of his vehicle for business upon submission of properly executed and documented claim. Item 13, professional leave. Rutherford shall be entitled to leave for the purpose of attending local, state, and national workshops and conferences upon prior approval by the Board of School Trustees. 14, dues. South Spencer County School Corporation shall pay the membership dues to the Indiana Association of Public School Superintendents, Indiana Association of School Business Officials, and Indiana School Boards Association each year in the name of Richard Rutherford. 15, retirement pay. Rutherford shall receive $50 for each day of unused sick leave upon his retirement to a maximum of 180 days. The first $2,000 will be added to the superintendent's contract in the year the superintendent retires. The remainder of the monies owed shall be paid into the administrator's Section 401 account referenced in Article 7 of the professional agreement between the Board of School Trustees of the South Spencer County School Corporation and the South Spencer Classroom Teachers Association by June 30 of the year of retirement. Rutherford shall be allowed to transfer his accumulated sick days totaling 50 days from the Vincennes Community School Corporation into the South Spencer County School Corporation. Any additional accumulated sick leave days exceeding 50 shall be transferred at the rate of 5 days per year up to the maximum of 180 days set forth in paragraph 8 herein. If Rutherford dies in active service, a retirement benefit shall be paid in a lump sum to his beneficiary or estate. Said lump shall be 100% of eligible retirement pay at the time of death. The 55 age qualification and notice of retirement shall be waived. The named beneficiary shall be filed with the Indiana State Teachers Retirement Fund. In order to qualify for retirement pay, Rutherford must A, be at least 55 years of age by December 31 of the calendar year in which he retires, and B, have been an administrator in the school corporation for a minimum of 5 years and employed as an administrator at the time he retires from South Spencer. Item 16, fringe benefits. Rutherford shall be entitled to all other fringe benefits according to all South Spencer certified employees not otherwise outlined above. The foregoing terms of addendum apply to the period of employment of Richard Rutherford, Superintendent of South Spencer School Corporation, in a supervisory and confidential employee section position as defined in section IC 20-29-6 and as provided in the regular teacher contract. That is the addendum to the contract. So at this time, we'll move right on to the only other part of the meeting, and that would be statements concerning this contract. So if anybody would have a statement to make about the contract, you could come forward, just state your name for the record, and make a statement. If we were going to have several, we would limit the time, but I didn't see anybody else get up, so.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So
I
you have
appreciate that. My name is Blake Bunner, and a longtime resident here of Spencer County. I want to thank you guys for working together collaboratively with Dr. Rutherford to come up with this contract. Just wanted to say that I was here in the last board meeting, and a fellow citizen of ours, Cheryl Waniger, stood up. She itemized a tremendous list of accomplishments and highlighted the engagement, really the level of engagement of our current superintendent. Pretty amazing. In fact, that was a list that any school corporation would want of their superintendent. And after really thinking about that and considering what we've got here with this contract, we all in this room know that in a small county, it's so important for us to work together. Anytime we have a fraction, any kind of a divide in our small county, in this particular corporation, which is only a subset of this county, as we all know, we are at risk when we have that division. And I've heard some different things in the community here and there, but overwhelmingly great support for Dr. Rutherford. And I will tell you this, that I've known Dr. Rutherford for a long time, even from childhood. And there's not a finer man that I know for this particular job. In fact, in my adult life, I have never known us, and there's no disrespect intended for prior superintendents, but I have never known us in this community to have a superintendent as engaged and as glued to the core as Dr. Rutherford.
So are you saying you agree with the terms of the contract?
I agree with the terms of the contract with one exception. I think that the board should, and I urge the board to consider doing everything in your power to extend his contract, to make it as long as he is willing to stay here, because we as rebels need Dr. Rutherford in this position. And I understand that it was an agreement, a collaborative agreement, that the board and he came up with this contract. But I would truly urge the board to hang on to this man. We've never had a person of this caliber in this position, and for us to let him slip through after 3 years would be a huge loss for our community. So I urge the board to be working on this, be thinking about it over the holidays, and maybe come back with a better contract than this one. This is a great contract with one little flaw. we're not keeping him long enough. So thank you guys for allowing me to speak, and those are of course my opinion. I've come to several different board meetings, and it's interesting that we've never heard one negative thing about Dr. Rutherford, not one. That's because they're all positive. In fact, Dr. Rutherford may be the most positive individual I have ever met in my life. The man has lost people close to him in his family, and he's resilient. It's like water off a duck's back. He is unfazed. What great leadership that we all should look to, that we all should reach for. Wouldn't we all want to be as positive as Dr. Rutherford? So thank you for my time up here, and I won't go on and on, but you know where I stand with this. Thank you for working on the contract and getting it done. I just urge you to go one step further and make it better. Thank you for serving our community. It's not easy being an elected official in the community, and it's not easy for me to stand up here and have a position because I do represent all people in Spencer County. Thank you.
Thank you, Blake. Before I read the motion, do we have any discussion, concerns from the board? So the item under new business is the approval of the contract between Superintendent Rutherford and the school board as presented. So I will make the motion that I move that the board accept the new contract with Dr. Rutherford as stated. Do I have a second to that motion? Melissa seconds. All those in favor of approval signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-1. And there we have our next meeting of the board will be the regular meeting on Monday, January 13th, 2020 at 6 p.m. right here in the multi-purpose room. I have 7:17. Do I have a motion to adjourn? George makes the motion. Do I have a second to that motion? Derek seconds. All those in favor, aye. Aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.